Hello, my name is Dr. Stanley Lang, and welcome to this broadcast. And the series of broadcasts recently has been on stress management, which means how to deal with stress in a way that is healing the stress and protecting your body rather than letting your body and your mind being damaged by the stress. Now, as you know, chronic stress is something that you've been living with for some time, and you know the effect that it's had on your body, on your mind. And today I'm going to focus more on the spiritual issues associated with chronic stress and also one of the spiritual solutions. Yesterday, I mentioned the concept of um, how going the extra mile, going the extra mile can help you be successful in decreasing stress. Now, in this scenario that I was describing, I was relating the words of Jesus as he told his followers that when somebody asks you to go the mile to do whatever it is they want you to do, that you should go an extra mile without being asked. And the idea behind that, what I was talking about yesterday, was that when we focus on doing more than is necessary for the sake of another person, that helps me take the focus off of my own issues, and it helps me to keep my focus on the other person and on their needs. And that can be very healing to the stress in my situation. So I'm bringing up the same subject again, going the extra mile, but today I'm suggesting that you focus on doing it for the sake of your relationship with God rather than focusing on the needs of another person. Not that I'm suggesting that you shouldn't focus on the needs of another person, but for the sake of just where the focus is, um, when I take the extra step of 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 doing this extra task for somebody, going the extra mile, doing more than is needed um, in the situation for the sake of bringing a blessing into the life of another person, and I do it out of love for God. That takes the focus not only off of my problems and not only onto the needs of another person, but even more so now I'm focused on actually my relationship with God and actually doing something out of love for God. So it's easy to focus on wanting things from God in my relationship with God, and that's a natural thing to do because we know that God is capable of doing anything, capable of bringing any blessing into my life, and so it's natural to think of my relationship with God as a lot more one way. That is, God moving towards me than me moving towards God. And one of the ways that I can move towards God is going the extra mile for another person out of love for God. So in other words, I do this good thing or this good deed as an expression of my love for God. So it's a subtle distinction, but one that I encourage you to focus on because you do have a relationship with God. I know it's important to you. And if you take the focus off of the person that you're trying to help and more focus on God, that's even more powerful because you can keep both in focus at the same time, actually. But it's it's sometimes hard to keep the focus on God if I'm just focused completely on the other person. But I can focus on the other person and, in a sense, glance over that person's shoulder and see God behind that person, over that person, and that my intention is really to go the extra mile then for the sake of my love for God. Now, if you do that, I know that it's going to make your life less burdened. You will feel more peaceful just because you're in to the stream of your relationship with God. And it feels more two-way. You're actually relating to God in a way that is not just heavenly minded. It's practical. It's it's rooted with your feet on the earth in a sense, and you're doing something physical for God. Not that God needs it, of course not, but you're doing it for His sake anyway. And when you do that, it will heal your stress to some extent and decrease the experience of stress at the moment. And if you do this on a regular basis, it's going to decrease the stress a lot. So I encourage you to give some thought to how you might do this every day in the responsibilities that you have, because I know that as you focus your natural attention towards God anyway into the relationships that you are working with, the people that you're trying to help, that it's going to be a much more powerful experience. I encourage you also to share this idea with people around you, share this video with friends and family, and subscribe to this channel. I wish you well, God bless, and have a great day.